Well, I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
Groovy.
It's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
Well, a boy's best friend is his mother.
I see dead people.
It's still warm.
He got hungry.
Could have been a skunk.
Could have.
Man wouldn't do that.
This isn't a man.
Hello. Would you like to play a game?
The power of Christ! That the power of Christ compels you!
Here's Johnny.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Myopia Movies. This week, we return to our horror fare, as you can tell from the beginning, and do a movie that I think a lot of people think more of as action, because the second, maybe the third, and definitely the remaining Terminator movies are definitely action movies and much sillier. So this first one is effectively Jason Voorhees with guns, and it's creepy and it's wonderful and it's nasty. I mean, those hobo pants alone. But it's an excellent film. And frankly, I guess we can thank The Abyss for essentially bankrupting what Jim Cameron was trying to do, so we get Terminator 2. But in the meantime, where we start is a wonderful low-budget horror movie with practical effects, and I'm here for it. Start your Halloween season off fairly well. Start it off right with Terminator. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for doing what you do to keep us relevant, sharing, supporting us. Welcome to Myopia Movies. So we were talking about the Terminator. Now we had to do it now because by 2029 the world will be an apocalyptic. It's skulls. It's just a pile. All that's left is skulls. So before you turn into skulls, hi, I'm Nick Hoffman, reference Cineprov, and on panel we have
Alex here,
Atlanta author Matthew W. Quinn, who has not yet done a robot war story.
Let me tell you what. This is Jim Cameron's first real film. I don't know if you looked up Jim Cameron and what he has done, but he had directed like 2 Corman movies before this and then did this.
Yeah, so many people worked for Corman. He was like the industry's godfather.
I mean, it's just like canon stuff. Like, I have no ill will. I like Corman movies. They're often very cheesy to the point, but you pump these things out. But this is James Cameron. We have entered James Cameron's world a few times at this point. Because he did True Lies, which we've done, and Terminator 2, which we've done, and The Abyss.
Oh, mustn't forget The Abyss.
Which is fun. And as we are recording, we have not recorded it. Oh, and
Aliens. Did he not do Terminator 3?
He did not. Mm-hmm. That's why it feels different. But he did. Oh, no. I was going to say he has a writer credit for the Mortal Kombat 1 video game, but that's because the Terminator is a character in it. Yeah, so I was right. He did a short called Exogenesis, which is just a short. But his first full-length movie was Piranha 2, The Spawning. Other than that, I mean, as Matt kind of alluded to, these Corman productions, like everyone's kind of a writer, everyone's kind of a producer, everyone's kind of a cinematographer. So his first directing credit is Piranha 2, The Spawning, where he's one of 3 directors.
I feel like I was at a sleepover at a friend's house and there was a Piranha like marathon on one of the channels. And we just started watching and they weren't great, but you know, it's very distinct. I mean, something falls in water turns red, piranhas go nuts.
Yeah, there are two OG Piranhas, I think 2 remakes, like Piranha 3 and Piranha 3 Double D or something.
Piranha 3D and Piranha 3 Double D are very funny. They are not quite Sharknado level because they have dignity still, but they are very funny. Previous episode Sharknado, and did we do Sharknado 2? I think we did
one of the Sharknado movies.
But this is his first studio production, The Terminator. And this movie's fucking kicks ass.
He was in his 20s,
Yeah.
late 20s, just before turning 30.
And he's
Wow.
and he's got like real actors here too. I mean, like Linda Hamilton was an unknown. Arnold though had done Pumping Steel. He had already been in
Hercules in New York.
Hercules in New York, and I believe the first Conan movie. He doesn't have anything to say in that movie because they in Hercules in New York they completely dub him. But I watched this the other night with friend of the show Zach Krause, and he was like, "Man, Arnold really has that robotic walking down." I'm like, "Yeah,
Yep.
he sure does."
Sure does.
Which is funny because again, it's kind of a joke. It's kind of not, but at the same time, yeah, he's so good in this role. I was looking it up on IMDb, so who knows if it's true. But he's only on screen for like 27 minutes. I believe it.
Yeah, a lot of this movie is the incredibly true adventures of time-traveling PTSD man and a waitress and a dickhead psychologist.
So, we'll get to the psychologist because he's awesome. But what was the first Terminator movie you saw?
I think 2 on TV.
2?
Definitely Judgment Day. I can't remember exactly where, but I mean, when it came out in 91, that movie was just huge. I remember there were video games. It was everywhere.
Toys. I remember you could get the BioFlesh regenerator that paint covered your Terminator toys in clay.
Well, that's funny. I mean, it's also weird because, and kids, this doesn't really exist anymore, so I apologize, with one exception. But R-rated movies that got toys made for it. Like the only one I can think of nowadays is Deadpool. But like Terminator 2 it wasn't a ride, but it was an experience at Universal Studios. And then they had like video games that were like arcade games.
Yeah, I remember the arcade game because for those of you in Marietta, I went to Flashback Games a few weeks ago, and you can pay $12 and play any number of games. So I finally got beyond the first level of Terminator 2.
There you go.
Like I got into the sewer where you got to stop the Terminators from breaking in and killing all the people hiding there. Well, not hitting the people.
And was it like a point? Was it a gun?
The one with the big gun controllers.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that. Awesome.
Yeah, Deadpool. Are the Deadpool toys for kids or for adults? Because it could be that all the kids from the 90s who had Terminator toys are now 40 years old and have money.
That's true, but I mean, I've seen like last year there were kids in Deadpool costumes trick or treating, and like. My daughter has not seen the movies, but is aware of who Deadpool is because he like shows up in crap.
Chimichanga.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But like Terminator 2 was that movie, and it's just weird how much of a cultural impact it made. You guys are right. A reason I brought that up is I did not see Terminator 1 first. I saw Terminator 2 first. Yeah. So in that way, this one's almost weird to watch.
Yeah, I remember being a little kid and someone told me that in Terminator 1, the Terminator is the villain. I just remember that for some reason did not compute with me when I was like 8.
I had to keep telling Zach that they don't know he's a robot yet. Oh, I'm like, I know he sounds like a surfer guy every time I do a Zach impression. He doesn't listen to the show. I'm like, he's the bad guy. He's like, but it's Arnold. I'm like, yeah, he's the bad guy. And it is strange in that way, but it's awesome. This movie is so well done. But because of that too, it's not just that you have to get used to Arnold being the bad guy. Linda Hamilton is not, I'm so used to her gruff, like I'm in charge, I've seen shit. And here she's like bubbly.
Yeah, like, truly. It's only at the very end that you see what she'll become. On your feet, soldier.
Yeah. And she's like talking to that kid at the bodega or whatever, the gas station. And there's that like, yeah, I've seen things.
Yeah. Storms are coming.
Storms are coming.
Yep.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, you had an extra beat. It's the under pressure thing. He goes, no. Their song goes dun 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 dun, and our song goes dun 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 dun.
Vanilla Ice, you
Vanilla Ice is the Terminator.
91.
Word to your mother. All right.
Go robot, go robot, go.
Go robots, go robots, go. So I'll tell you what though, This is I hate movies. First of all, everyone uses the phrase cult classic wrong. This is not a cult classic and made a shitload of money. People just don't remember it because the second one was bigger. B, this is like the little engine that could, because you could tell there's not a lot of budget here, and yet this is like a stunt spectacular.
Yeah, I could swear they used the same shot of that robot tank rolling over the skulls a couple times. I mean, to be fair, there's a good reason for it. It's, Kyle Reese's Nom flashback, so it's happening over and over again. But that's some Corman stuff there. Like, just reuse the footage.
Absolutely.
Learn from the best.
But also, it's just like from the very beginning, where we get the Orion logo, which, by the way, that takes me back because they don't exist anymore. And Orion shows up on the screen and we're there. But then the second we start getting shit, it's in that weird font from the executive producers. And then it says Los Angeles 2029. And it's just a hellhole, right? There's just scaffolding. A little sci-fi ship kind of flies around, which again, clearly just on wires. But at the same time, dude, I'm in it immediately. What is this movie? Who is this monster man? And we already have, as Matt said, this weird little tank thing rolling over skulls.
So many skull. There's a skull. There's like skull motifs in at least the first three Terminators, because this one, I think, in the opening war flashback of T2, and then in T3, John Connor's Nightmares, skull carpet.
There is, and or I think they call it at one point. I think it's called Skull Beach, but whatever it is, it's a very effective.
Yeah, I think 3 is Skull Beach because I remember water.
Yeah. Then we get an opening scroll. The machines rose from the ashes of nuclear fire. Their war to exterminate mankind had raged for decades, but the final battle would not be fought in the future. It would be fought here in our present tonight.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun. Getting jiggy with it?
Yeah, thank you. That was bothering me. I'm like, he's doing an extra beat, and I don't know what it's from.
Getting jiggy with it. Oh, Kyle Reese is getting jiggy with Sarah Connor and fathering my greatest enemy. This sucks.
Kyle Reese, you don't miss, man. Just need a 1.
I think it's alluded that he's a virgin too. Like,
but no, never.
Yeah, I was posting on Substack that you get a whole PTSD arc with this character. He is a hero, but he is very damaged.
He is, which makes him more attractive.
Yeah, because he starts talking about how he fell in love with her because he had her picture.
It's so sad.
And he doesn't get maced.
Matt, you've had some incidents here?
Yeah.
If I've noticed certain men doing stuff and getting away with it and succeeding, that if I tried that, I'd get a taser somewhere.
That's the HR meme.
You just got to look like Michael Biehn and take your shirt off and have scars all over.
Yeah, which in turn gets into the psychologist scene. Why doesn't he show him the tattoo?
He does.
He shows the psychologist the tattoo.
He's like explaining it.
He's explaining it to him.
And they're like...
And he's got burn marks elsewhere in his body.
We get some shitty, like, stupid names in here, like the Hunter Killers and that stuff. But there's a lot of X-Men-esque Holocaust references here, too. The humans were rounded up. They were put into camps. They called them Gator Alcatraz. But he has, like, the tattoo that because they categorized us all, yada, yada, yada. I will also just say something that they do in this movie that they don't really do in the other ones is the connection between technology now and the technology of the Terminators, right? Because it's supposed to be 45 years in the future, right? Because we go from 1984 to 2029. But like we cut from that scene where the ship is flying around, the skulls are being crushed on Skull Beach. We get the credit sequence, and then we establish like a giant excavator, right? Like the machine's already here, guys. It's right around the corner. And it's helping you generate AI pornography.
Yeah, it decided a microsecond annihilation. So Skynet was exposed to the internet and decided to kill everyone.
It was like when they attached Deep Blue to Urban Dictionary and then they had to erase it because it kept saying horrible things.
Amazing.
So we're at the Griffin Observatory in LA when this glistening Austrian man vaporizes out of nowhere. And Arnold, of the action stars, I've said this before, I'll say it again, he's always been my favorite. And it's because I think he's funny in a way that none of the other ones are, but he can also play it serious. I mean, like, again, can you imagine Seagal? Can you imagine Jean-Claude Van Damme? Can you imagine Stallone in this role? It's Arnold every time.
Well, Stallone, we know is in Demolition Man. We know he's one let it all hang out.
Well, he is. He will get naked. And Arnold here, I mean, my God, on my Blu-ray, I'm like, yep, that's just his penis.
The first time a lot of America saw Arnold there, and he's just in all his roided up mid 80s glory. My goodness.
Well, and I'll tell you what,
and three punks are dumb enough to try and mess with them anyway.
And I tell you what, there's two of them that I know. It's Bill Paxton is there.
Yeah, that blew my mind. He was the lead punk dude.
And by the way,
oh my God.
It's the hardest guy in your gang. The leader of your gang is Bill Paxton. You don't step to a giant Austrian man.
Yeah,
you give him your fucking jacket.
Yeah, who on earth? Yeah, if I saw a 300-pound muscle monstrosity walking my way naked, I'm going elsewhere.
Yeah, you don't step to him, man. You don't. Like, I don't know, man. It's simple as that.
Your clothes. I need you to give me your clothes.
Your clothes.
Who could be fun? Like, imagine Jean-Claude Van Damme deadpanning what the punks are saying back to them.
Right.
It would be horrible, and Arnold is funny with it somehow in his own way.
No, you're right.
Give me all. I try to do the Van Damme voice in his lines.
It's what Candace said last week as we recorded, which is like, do the impressions because they get worse as it goes, and that's totally fine.
You can do Jean-Claude Van Damme. You've done it before.
Let me see.
Tap into that Belgianness.
My name is Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I give your clothes, give them to me. Thank you. Your clothes, give them to me.
I just watched Bloodsport at Cineprov a couple months ago, so
I mean, it's right there.
God.
Apparently, so I wasn't at the last show, and Candace said this on mic, so nor if you're hearing this already, you can edit it out. But Evan tried to do a Stallone, and Candace patted him like, "You're not Nick, stop it." And I'm just like, yeah. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to one of the other gutter punks here. His name played by Brian Thompson. Brian Thompson is a dude who I just like. He's a huge beefcake. He's been in previous episode Cobra, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but he was also the alien assassin in X-Files. The big tall dude who's like blonde with a dimple in his chin, and he's just a brick shithouse. I don't know what to say. So he was in like 10 episodes of the X-Files, 9 episodes of the X-Files, and he's just that dude. And this is just a first role for everyone, so let's do it.
A cool first role.
I mean, I'll tell you what, like, Cameron got a good cast with what little money he had, and his first real movie, Arnold was the good get. Michael Biehn was a good get. Linda Hamilton was a good get. Around here, after, dude, he rips Brian Thompson's heart out.
Yeah.
I forgot how gruesome this got immediately.
Budget is $6.4 million
in 1984.
Yeah, grossed almost 80.
And then his next movie was Aliens. Like, yeah, that's why you get Aliens. That's why eventually you get a 6-picture Avatar deal worth billions of dollars, because you make a profit, man. Like, Titanic and Avatar were the 2 biggest movies ever. Anyway. So at this point, Michael Biehn shows up. Michael Biehn shows up also naked. Arnold Schwarzenegger is like prime rib. And Michael Biehn is a good-looking flank steak. But it's something that they do in this one very well, which is Arnold he's Jason Voorhees. Like, I don't know how else to put it. He's an unstoppable killing machine built like a brick shithouse. But Michael Biehn is wiry and strong, and like, it's different. It's why in the second one, it's interesting that they pick Robert Patrick, who's a much smaller dude. And I know we brought it up there, but that's why the second one's almost funny, and this one is not. This one is a straight horror movie.
Yeah, and Biehn plays Kyle Reese really well because he's very, very good at like escape and evasion. This is a guy who grew up since he was a little kid hiding from killer robots. The LAPD is not much in comparison.
Well, and that's interesting too, because like, he doesn't want to kill cops. He's very aware that these people like they never get into the idea of there being like a paradox. Like this isn't Back to the Future. Like the truck drivers that are killed, they don't matter to the time stream either. Like all of a sudden Arnold isn't wearing a funny hat. Like, but at the same time, Reese clearly respects these people. He's just trying to get away from him. And Matt, you said this very well. He clearly has PTSD, but he also has like a jitteriness to him, like at all times.
Well, that's what I think. I know someone who was a veteran of various unpleasant places who I suspect has PTSD. And he's saying it's like your flighter. It's not like waking up screaming like a stereotype. It's your threat center is always on.
Yeah.
So he would be twitchy.
You hear about people going into whatever room they walk into, and they're looking at exits. They're scanning. They can't stay calm.
It's something that the Hurt Locker, I think, does pretty well. That's the only thing Hurt Locker does well. It's a weird movie to go back to. But yeah, no, and that's what he does. Like, first of all, he's going to nail into Hamilton by the end of this, as Matt alluded to. The second he puts on that homeless man's pants, I'm sorry. No, man. You got to shower. You got to shower off all of that stuff. He has there's body horror later where Arnold pops an eye out. That's still the scariest thing in this movie. When he puts on that homeless man's pants, it's truly upsetting in a way. Because it's like, it's also, this is gritty 1984 LA.
Yeah, this is like Skid Row or wherever he dropped in. Not Skid Row, literally.
Could be worse. Someone could have just done a drive-by on him out of nowhere, and that'd be the end of the future.
I didn't watch a lot of 80s SNL because it was all terrible. That's like when Robert Downey Jr. was on it. But that would have been a funny bit. Like the Terminator shows up, Kyle Reese appears, and just gets shot immediately, and then the movie's over. It just rolls credits.
The
LA
Piscopo's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, the LA Kings just assured humanity's extinction by doing a drive-by on some random guy.
I mean, it's funny. Arnold ends up getting the clothes from the tallest guy, so he is a little bit of a leather daddy. It's not as bad as the third one where he goes to a male strip club.
That was hilarious, though.
Oh no, but I'm telling you, that's already a difference in tone. Right. And I'm first of all, you're right.
Talk to the hand.
It's a very funny movie. I like the Terminator a little scarier though. And that's part of it. But I think at this point, it's a good time for our plot synopsis. You want to do it, Alex or Matt? Or Matt, you want to do it? Alex, you can do the next one.
Sure.
All right. In the far future year of 2029, humanity is at war with Skynet, which was a computer that was put in charge of the American nuclear weapons arsenal, which promptly launched it all at Russia and triggered a global nuclear war called Judgment Day. And humanity, after a long time, is winning, but the machine's last gambit was to send one of its infiltrator bots back in time to try and kill John Connor, the human commander's mom. And John Connor sends Kyle Reese through the time portal and then blows a time portal up. So cut to that far off year of 1984. Oh boy. Oh no. I was born in 1984.
Yep. Same.
And
maybe you're John Connor.
Well, in Terminator 3, you see his future lieutenants like working in McDonald's and stuff. So you never know. And so So now we have Arnold Schwarzenegger, the killbot from the future, the man, sort of very few words, and Kyle Reese, the twitchy warrior from the future who sent to stop him and save Sarah Connor, John Connor's mom, which apparently has had the hots for decades because of a photo.
A really weird twist in this movie.
From a dirty old Polaroid.
Yeah. So, which segues to what we were saying earlier, because Kyle Reese and Arnold are now in LA, and Arnold starts off by looking up at that thing called a phone book. You guys remember phone books?
Dude, I would, okay. Go, you finish your thought and then I'll bring up mine.
And he starts looking for anyone named Sarah Connor, because in that age of everything being on paper that promptly gets blown up by a nuclear bomb, Skynet doesn't have instant access to everything now. Now everything is computerized and Skynet has access to everything.
Yeah.
Luckily, so far, it's just making stupid things on Grok.
And now there's, and the part you didn't get to, which I thought you were, there are 3 Sarah Connors. So we have to find our Sarah Connor and protect her before Terminator gets there. And I saw this movie when I watched it the other day, and I was like, if the 80s have told me anything, it's that there was no complete phone books because everyone just tears out pages. If they do it in Back to the Future, like I'm positive they do it in I think Red Dawn. Like they're just opening up phone books and tearing out pages.
Yeah, got to keep ordering more. Keeping this phone book salesman in business in the 80s.
AT&T had just one guy. Now there's a lot of stuff which I think is very interesting about these robots. And Matt, as a guy who often likes a movie more for the world it creates than the movie itself, like how good is this? They thought it through. Like Cameron comes up with like model numbers. This is the T101. It's different from the 600 series because they had rubbery skin, so we could tell them right away.
Yeah,
this is why we keep, like, they can sweat. They have skin. And that's why we keep dogs around, because dogs can tell.
And in Dark Fate, they can bone.
Well, yeah, but that's not yet. Let's not confuse them.
They're not that advanced yet.
I'm a fucking computer. I'm a boning computer.
So
Hasta la vista. I'm sorry.
Because they have because they do have parallel constructions, like dogs barking at Terminators in the Wasteland future, and dogs barking at the Terminator when he shows up to interrupt Kyle and Sarah's little pity sex session.
Well, and even when he kills the first Sarah Connor, which is just like a church lady, there's this little Shih Tzu that's losing its mind when Arnold walks by. Which, you know what? It's a nice, because I forget if they even actually explain it all the way to us, or not, or if we just see it always happening. Like, because when we have a scene, there's almost one too many flashbacks, but I like them all, so I couldn't pick which one I'd cut. But like a bunch of the fighters are coming in, and they all stick their hand in front of the dog, and the dog's like, hey buddy, and then he starts freaking out at this one guy who looks like Lou Ferrigno, and then you realize there's a Terminator. And by the way, like, we've talked about sci-fi movies and how long we'd survive. There are kids who are literally just watching a fire inside of a TV.
I love the shot. The kid and her mom are huddled around. Oh, they're watching. Some of them got a TV going. No, it's shit burning inside the box.
Yeah,
my God.
Yeah, if Daniel was here, he'd bring up Threads, the British nuclear war movie. Yes. In the last scene in Threads, somebody has got a TV running again, but it's all these sickly little kids watching it.
Yeah,
you know, those kids are dirty, but they're healthy, and they don't have TV.
Yeah, dude, these kids look like orphans from like A Christmas Carol. It's so funny.
Are they gonna hit up Skynet for money?
Please, or try like to do a David Copperfield. Please, sir, I want some more.
Please, Mr. Robot. Give me a hey penny. Bam.
Okay, so we're introduced to Sarah Connor around here, and Sarah Connor is working at this like Bob's Big Boy ripoff place, and having a shit day at work. And I'm sorry, man. Everything about this from beginning to end sucks. I hate. I've worked in restaurants before, never this bad, but she's having a bad day, and it's funny.
Even back in the 1980s, they had Karens,
dude, and these asshole dudes. Okay, so an order comes out wrong. I forget what it was. Like someone got fries and they weren't supposed to. I forget exactly. But she's like, oh, I'm sorry. Knocks over a sweet tea on a dude. And then this kid puts his ice cream into her pocket. And the guy goes, I would give you $50 for that. And you're just like, dude, don't fucking encourage this child. Like, all of this is bad. And then she goes back to the kitchen to pick up the next order. And she goes, and her work friend, who's the worst, says something along the lines of like, look, in 100 years, none of this matters. You know what?
Is a work friend the same one who says, look, honey, you're dead?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm calling you off the floor to prove to you that someone named Sarah Connor was brutally murdered in her home.
Real fun.
It could have been you. Congratulations. Oh, God. And again, if you've seen only the other movies, she's like, again, happy-go-lucky. Like, I think she's supposed to be 18, which, sorry, not.
Really? Oh, wow.
I would have guessed mid-20s.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I was even thinking maybe like approaching, I don't know, 30. I don't know. I didn't look it up.
She's got like a Walter Matthau face where she looks just old. Like she looks great. I'm not saying she doesn't look great, but then she's got to bang Michael Biehn later.
Yeah.
But like at one point you see her ID and she's supposed to be 19.
Wow. I totally missed that.
Well, I saw some trailers of like some mystery movies in the 70s, and Walter Matthau has brown hair, but the same face, like Peter Jennings.
He is one of those dudes who looked like he was 50 for like the last 60 years of his life. Like, anyway, so after this terrible, no good, very bad day of work, where we have our first Biehn flashback, where, you know, he's the freedom fighter. And I will say, this is where you see how cheap the movie is, but well done, because you really don't see anything other than those laser blasts painted on, and then him like hiding in rubble and like running back and forth. And it's nighttime and there's weird lighting and it works. It's really intense. He looks like Solid Snake or something with that headband and everything. It's cool.
Yeah, they get across and do a good job of making it look exactly like a horrible hellscape without having to obviously spend that much money on that set. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and again, like and then he wakes back up and we have another giant, I think he's sleeping at like a junkyard or something. So another giant machine is crushing. And he pulls a shotgun that he stole from the cop car. Like we mentioned it briefly, but I don't think he gets rid of the homeless man's pants. He does get a duster and some Nikes, which feature quite prominently in this movie.
Product placement.
Yeah. That's not bad. I mean, they're sweet kicks. That's all I've got to say. Meanwhile, Arnold is dressed like a leather daddy, which is fine. Linda Hamilton about to lose them clothes. But Kyle Reese breaks into the cop car and he gets a shotgun from it, because the cops in LA just had loaded shotguns in the back apparently, and he hides it in his trench coat. Eventually he'll saw the butt off of it, saw some of the barrel off, and then strap it to a rope under his armpit so he can just kind of hold on to it, which, you know, whatever. But that's where he pulls a shotgun from.
Cool trick. Guess you learned that fighting them robots.
Well, I was gonna say what's cool is, and if anyone's writing a screenplay out there, he doesn't have to explain any of this shit. He just knows to do it. And so we see him doing the process. That's fine. That's all we need. He does explain. I mean, Jim Cameron will give you a model number. He will give you a frequency. He will tell you what day it is over and over. Like,
that's the first thing he does. He's yelling in somebody's face, "What day is it?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day." Like,
what year is it?
Is Reagan president? Is Reagan president? Is it bedtime for Bonzo? Dude. But yeah, it's 1980. The homeless guy, he took my pants. Just, I swear, I didn't do this on purpose. He took my pants. Yeah, guys, I'll keep trucking it unless you stop me. No.
Yeah.
The scene that I feel like we could talk 10 minutes about is Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, and her roommate are going out for the night. And Linda is wearing a Jetsons shirt, and they're putting perms on top of perms on top of perms.
Welcome to the 80s. Big hair.
And her roommate's boyfriend calls and starts talking dirty.
Yeah. That's a nice little departure from what the movie's about to become.
Well, and this is where it feels to me the most like an 80s slasher, right? Because like everyone's kind of horny, everyone's kind of drinking or doing drugs, right? Like, and like he's like, "Oh man, I'm gonna come in there. I'm gonna unbutton your blouse. I'm gonna start kissing your titties," and she's trying to keep it straight. And she goes, "Hi, Matt." And he goes, "Sarah,
I didn't know it was you."
But then he gives it to the girl. So two thoughts. First, this is a script he has, because she hands it to her roommate, and he immediately starts back up again. Which, first of all, choice. But second, he's angling for that three-way, right? Like it's early because later when he shows up at the house, he surprises her and like gives her that hug.
He kisses her.
He does. He gives her a kiss, but it's also he's gonna bring let's just watch a movie this time, and it's kind of a little too sexy, or he's like, so I got you this bottle of wine for Christmas. Why don't we just open it and hang out?
Well, yeah, and Linda Hamilton, Sarah's boyfriend or interest had canceled. So look, if all this bullshit with the Terminator hadn't happened, at least the first night of this movie would have gone a different direction potentially.
I mean, if he was a day later, it's a very different movie. No, I mean but also the plan was that they were all going to go to, I don't know, the Cafe 80s. I have no idea what they were doing.
It's not the one that she ends up
Tech Noir.
Yeah, Tech Noir,
which is
the
awesome.
One. Yeah, amazing.
But but because so the guy who calls her and dumps a 1984 Linda Hamilton, yeah, right. By the way, it's just Jim Cameron on the phone, who at the time was still married to Gail Amber Heard, the co-writer. And he's going to divorce her and marry Linda Hamilton later on.
Wow.
I mean, wow. So we're going to direct that sex scene, but slow her. We'll get there. Wow. But what Sarah Connor says is, nah, I think I'm going to just watch a movie and have a pizza. Which, you know what? I'm there. That's a lot of my weekend days. But she goes to this 1980s pizzeria where there's no light inside. Meanwhile, the roommate just decided to stay home with Matt and fuck her. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't even take off the headphones.
No, bopping around all over the place in bed, dancing around, bopping around, making a peanut butter jelly sandwich, bopping around.
You got to take out the AirPods
and
when we're boning.
And the Terminator comes in and her boyfriend starts bopping him around a little bit.
Just for a second, before we get to everyone's grim death here, we have got to talk about these outfits. I mean, this is the Vulcans have shown up. I don't know, everyone has shoulder pads on top of shoulder pads and perms and hair. Linda Hamilton is more hair than person in these scenes.
Who's got bigger hair, her or Beverly in Howard the Duck?
Oh, speaking of, Karen Allen's in this, Karen Allen's in The Sandlot. Excuse me. It's Leah Thompson in Howard the Duck. It's close, man. This hair is just, it's blown out, and it's huge, and it's 80s and everything.
No wonder there was a hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah, no kidding. I need a little spray. But anyway, so she goes out to get her pizza pie from this place called Giuseppe's or whatever, where you have the little red candle holders that have the netting on the outside, mm-hmm. and the pizza rack and everything. And the news report comes on and the guys are like, hey, put on the game. Oh. And she's like, no, wait. And another woman named Sarah Connor has been killed. She goes over to the phone book and realizes that she is the third Sarah Connor. And I will give the movie one thing. It moves like a son of a bitch. There's no breaks. Like I said, there's almost one too many flashbacks, but an hour 40, we'll take it. I do kind of want to see this woman die, because the first Sarah Connor dying, the door opens and Arnold knocks very politely. He said infiltration, but hello, are you Sarah Connor? She goes, yes. And how can I? Bam, 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 bam. Oh, we didn't even talk about one of my favorite scenes. The gun store.
Oh, God. All of them.
The legendary Dick Miller as this gun show guy, who is just and if you don't know Dick Miller is in a lot of these kind of horror movies. He's in the original Piranha. He's in Tales from the Crypt. He's just someone who's been in 100 movies where he always plays not a scumbag necessarily, but this guy, he runs the gun shop. Is he a good guy or not? I don't know, but NYPD Blue is going to show up and ask him a few questions like that guy. But yeah, they're just taking guns off the wall. Is that an Uzi? You got a good eye for guns, kid. It is an Uzi, Israeli made. What about the shotgun? Ooh, a shotgun. He goes, So what do you have? All of them. And he takes a shell and he goes, puts it in the shotgun and goes, hey, you can't do that. He goes, wrong. And just blows him away. Come on.
Is that strategic on Skynet's part?
Sarcasm?
I mean,
the T100s didn't have the sarcasm filter, but the T101s could. Yes, I would like fries with that.
I mean, Skynet, it can't figure out what someone's middle name is. Come on, Skynet.
I mean, he was expecting there to be an interface. Like, again, if Terminator landed today, he could find you by your Facebook profile. You'd be dead. Yeah. But then he had to like go one by one and just look for people. Dick Miller is so good. I mean, again, he just goes, hey, you can't do that, wrong, and shoots the guy in the head. Like, how great is that? Oh, mercy.
Arnold's he's brutal. He's brutal, man. Just wasting people right and left.
And by the way, like, by the time we were kind of alluding to a second ago where like the date is broken up, we're 25 minutes into this movie and like we're flying at this point. Like Michael Biehn, like everyone else, has just opened a phone book. Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor opens the phone book and sees she's the third one. And then he realizes, oh, this must be the lady. And I guess John Connor gave him some info, but he's like standing near her apartment and watching her go. He's tailing her very distantly. So when she leaves the pizzeria, the first thing she does is try to call her roommate. She tries to call the police, and this is before 911. So like they put her on hold,
wow.
Right? Yeah, like the 911 system, which probably won't exist long. They've probably cut funding. I haven't been paying attention. But around here, we're introduced to Paul Winfield and Lance Henriksen as a chief of police and the detective who fucking kick ass.
Yeah.
So Lance Henriksen is someone that Cameron had worked with on other Corman movies. And so he wanted to be the Terminator because Cameron wrote this. So he shows up to the audition after doing what I assume is all the cocaine he could find, with aluminum foil on his teeth and wearing a duster.
Whoa, he had a grill. He came wearing a grill.
Because that's what a robot would have, metal teeth, of course. Oh. And they said, no, I'm sorry. We need someone with actual presence. And then this is also Paul Winfield, 2 years after he was one of the captains in Wrath of Khan.
Uh-huh.
And he's a Shakespearean guy. That's why he delivers the lines as big as he does. But when he says, yo, mama, I lost it. It's so silly.
That is 84. Oh. That is 84. The year of my birth, once again.
I'm 85.
When yo mama jokes.
I'm such a young pup.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
No.
Uncorrupted by the horrible decade of your 40s yet.
Stay tuned. 20 days.
Yeah, when does this come out anyway? We're gonna be close.
By the time this comes out, I will be 40.
Oh, it's gonna be over.
Prepare for pain, child.
Yeah. Dude, I already have pains. My God, I have 2 kids. No.
That's good pain.
My shoulder. I woke up the other day and my shoulder just hurt. I'm just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, should I go to the orthopedist? I'm like, no, they're just going to give me meloxicam and call it a day. So I'm just like icing it down and like doing like this a lot. Like I'm a relief pitcher and just hoping for the best.
Yeah. And so Sarah calls her roommate.
No.
And the Terminator is already there and finds out where she is.
Yes. We see Matt and the roommate mid-coitus. And she doesn't even take the headphones off, which is funny. But she goes to make like the biggest sandwich anyone has ever seen. And
she's fucking made her hungry, man.
Dude.
Listen to all that music, fucking.
And she needs some Oscar Mayer bologna and some American cheese and 3 slices of bread and a gallon of milk. And I'm sorry, man. There's a lot of very bougie things about me, but the idea that you couldn't, first of all, it's LA, so I know you can't drink the water, but like, there's no post-coital Gatorade. You're drinking a jug of milk and making a meat sandwich. Like, come on, guys. Like, vitamin water is yet a dream on the horizon. Like, Celsius that is actually booze is on. This tells you if Nora leaves that joke in, it tells you exactly what week we're recording.
Yeah, I saw that too.
But like, then the Terminator comes in, and the lizard carefully observes. What's the
because Sarah has a pet iguana.
A pet iguana, which is
quirky.
That's what you call in screenwriting. Well, that's a quirky character. She's got a lizard.
And so so we have the Terminator goes into the club. He's about to waste Sarah when Kyle Reese shows up and shoots him, and then cut to the mass shooting.
Well, okay, so this is like one of the first action set pieces. This kicks ass. I'm sorry, like this scene is so good because again, at this point, Sarah Connor has called the cops, so the cops are coming. Right. My favorite part about Tech Noir, other than the fact that this place is a bar called Tech Noir and it's 1984 and it's about cyborgs, fine, is that when she calls the police and finally gets through to Winfield, the black guy detective cop guy, he knows exactly where it is. I know that place. It's on Rodeo. As though he's a regular, as though when he kicks off at 5, he goes for his chicken wings and tots at Tech Noir. Because he immediately goes, I know the place. I'm just like, really? How?
Maybe there's a lot of cybercrime going on in there. The music is really kind of amusing to me. There's this band that I noticed in the credits, the Triangles, which I guess they had like 5 songs. To TRYANGLZ. It's a band that like had 5 songs in this soundtrack and throughout the movie. And I guess that's like the only thing they ever did.
Well, you know, Paul Winfield was hanging out and listening in places. He was like, you know what? I can tell you, I've been to Tech Noir, and I would recommend their band, the Triangles. Paul Winfield. And I'm making fun because he kicks ass in this movie. He's so good. He's also in a previous episode, Mars Attacks, previous episode, Wrath of Khan, and previous episode, Cliffhanger.
Wow.
Which we did 1,000,000 years ago. And if you look on Wikipedia hard enough, you can find him doing Shakespeare. He's a Shakespearean guy. He was also in Batman the Animated Series in an episode or 2. Anyway, I stopped you just to say Tech Noir has this set piece, which is so it's weird, but it's also incredible because you're so used to there being a party scene in a Jason Voorhees movie, but not that the killer shows up and no one cares because he walks through the crowd of dancers, right? And no one knows what's happening. They're just dancing and they've slowed the film down. It's slow motion. And so Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, is just sitting at this table, eating her chicken wings, waiting for the cops to show up. And he gets the gun with the laser sight and points it right at her fucking head. And then Kyle Reese comes up and saves her life. And the problem is she has no idea who any of these people are, right? Other than that there's someone trying to kill her. And the shotgun, of course, knocks the Terminator down. And then the Terminator loses any sense of poison, just opens up the Uzi on the entire bar. And so, like, the thing about this is you can't think about the time travel shit at all. You can't because there's 50 people dead. And so, like, any continuity...
There was a time loop that would have happened anyway.
Yes, but we don't know who these people were. And luckily, the movie doesn't explain it. I think the movie would be worse if it tried. Like, that's why Back to the Future also does it well. It explains time rules up front. Marty, you've got to be careful. There's going to be a time. Once those rules are in place, you don't have to worry about it. We have one rule in place. We've got to protect Sarah Connor. We're good. We're good to go.
Yeah. James Cameron, I guess, historically has just been loath to even discuss it at all, right? I mean, it's not a time travel movie. I mean, like you said, it is basically like a slasher movie, a horror movie with an unstoppable killer. That's the dynamic here. But yeah, James Cameron, I get the sense, he never wanted to talk about it throughout the years at all.
Well, and the whole thing about this is too, like, I don't know what people like. This, Psycho, every so often we do a movie where I would love to have seen it with an audience in 1984.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, at this point, we don't even know he's a robot yet, really, because that all comes from Kyle Reese later, right?
Yeah. No, there are a few points, I think maybe after they leave Tech Noir, where you see from his perspective and you see like the red interface with the moving, numbers and like graphs.
Terminator vision.
Yeah. So that was that maybe the first hint that they've dropped in the movie is like, oh, wait, what the hell's going on here?
No, well, what we first get is after Kyle Reese shoots him, he gets up once and then he gets shot like 6 times and gets thrown through the window. And then we just see the hand move.
Oh, yeah.
And then when he stands up, that's when Sarah Connor loses her mind. And then we get Terminator vision. And you're like, oh, he's not a thing.
Yeah. Yep.
But again, it's good screenwriting. This makes it more of a horror film. It makes it more of a nightmare because that makes this killing machine unstoppable. And like the cops show up and like, you have this like little like peon cop who sees the Terminator who's been hit by a car and he goes, hey buddy, you all right? You stay there. I'm going to call this in. And then he just bashes the guy's head into the door. And then we essentially have a Blues Brothers driving scene here as all chaos breaks out, man. Like, and Reese is driving around in his like shitbox Mercury with the lights turned off. And Linda Hamilton realizes she has no idea who this dude is, but he also just killed people. So what on earth is happening? It's phenomenal.
Yeah. It was moving before, but things really are moving now. And the car chase, the motorcycle and car chase is insane. It's
well, and I'll just throw out here too. How cool is it that the first time we hear the line "Come with me if you want to live" it
was Kyle Reese.
It's not only Kyle Reese, but it barely matters. He's like, "Come with me if you want to live. We gotta go." Like, and then when Arnold says it in the second movie, it's supposed to be a light switch moment. She realizes that he's here to help.
Yeah.
But like, that's a line that
it's almost like watching it in out of order as I did originally. And I haven't seen this movie or Judgment Day in a long time. Yeah. So it's like there were little revelations for me along the way. I was like, oh, wow, cool.
Well, and there's also this bit of it in my head, which is that it tells you how great, like, I don't know how to define charisma, but Arnold has it. Yeah. Because he literally delivers the exact same line. And who do we remember saying it? Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger, right? Like, and even the stupid line of "I'll be back," which comes later, it's delivered.
Hasta la vista, baby, as you said before.
Like "I'll be back" is delivered so passively before he drives that truck right into that crash test dummy.
Yeah.
And there's just something about Michael Biehn is the right character for this, but you could have replaced him with other similar character actors. There's no replacing Arnold Schwarzenegger, and it's clear the second you start watching this thing how good he is in this.
And it's something about the quality or timbre of his voice. I don't know what it is. It should be studied. I'm not sure.
It's the confidence in how he says it too, which is something that some of these people, like, I don't hate The Rock. Some people do. I do not. But The Rock is just overspent, he feels very thin to me.
He's a brand bot. Arnold's a killing fucking awesome robot. You can play that. The Rock, even in real life and in movies, is a fucking brand bot. And that's what bothers me so much.
You know who's better? Batista.
Sure.
Because
absolutely.
You want to talk about, like, even in that, I forget which one he said. Is he in Skyfall? He's in one of the Bond movies. But like, he barely has a line in it. But it's that presence that he just, like, he's a terrifying beast.
He's scary as hell looking.
But that's what Terminator is here. Like, and again, I don't think The Rock could do it, though. I guess stay tuned. I think we have coming up Doom, where he's the villain, and that might be interesting just because he does not allow himself to be the villain anymore. That's why those Fast and Furious movies eventually became unwatchable.
Yeah, like he can't get his ass kicked. He can't be the villain. He's got a whole lot of rules, doesn't he? It's so fucking.
That's like Seagal. Enough cops show up that Kyle Reese gets arrested, and the Terminator, though wounded, escapes.
Yeah. I mean, we have a long driving sequence where they steal a bunch of cars. The cops show up. This is where we get a lot of the expedition. And again, Matt's right. We can skip all of it, but this is where we find out what the Terminator is. He's a cyborg, not a robot. He's this model number. Sarah asks, why me? And he goes, you are going to give birth to the son of the resistance, who leads resistance. And she's like, I'm single. And she goes, not by the end of this. Although, to be fair, I mean, Kyle Reese says it's his first time, so who knows? Maybe he got it all wrong, and it was actually Matt, the roommate's good boyfriend, who actually knocked her out.
Boy, would that be
stable
funny.
time loop. Somebody had to do it.
No. Dun 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 dun. And so anyway,
and we meet the most obnoxious criminal psychologist.
Yeah,
I know. Who walks right by Arnold as he goes into the building. I wanted him to get his comeuppance. That is really too bad.
And I think in all three of these, he still does not actually see the Terminator.
And the third one, I think he finally realizes it because he sees the Terminator in the cemetery, and he's like, "Oh no, no, no!" and then has a freak out.
Oh God, I told you I need to watch Judgment Day again, and I need to watch 3 for the first time. So,
well, you can see a fat Chris Hardwick in the third one. So.
A fat Chris Hardwick in the third one? Really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's wild.
Because I don't remember. I could swear Kyle Reese did not show the psychologist the tattoo because that was some.
No, I mean it's in the video. They raised the video and showed up, but he just doesn't believe it matters. It's just a barcode on your arm. But yeah, like we do have this kind of Blues Brothers scene where Arnold has stolen a cop car and smashes into the wall, and 1,000 cops show up, and Reese wants to go like suicide by cop here. And Hamilton stops him. But, you know, the psychologist, I forget his name, but he's
schmuck.
He's awesome. Like, I mean, you're right. He's an asshole character. The actor's name is Earl Boen, and he's been in a bunch of stuff.
Although he sounds like he puts on a good show of like, can you explain more? Can you tell me what this means? But it was a big show of being sympathetic. Then he's like,
well, he's also too tired and like, he doesn't care. Like all he does is yawn and like ignore what she's saying. And of course, Reese is talking about whatever he's talking about.
And Reese isn't helping himself really by just going off the handle constantly.
Yeah. I mean, this guy literally has 300 credits as acting. He's been... and his top 3 are Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Terminator 3, and Naked Gun 33 and a third. So, you know what? If that was my top 3, I'd call it. Or top 4, I'd call it. That's pretty good. But yeah, so everyone's ignoring him. I will say, on the other half of this scene is where we get the best of the special effects, because this is where Arnold, beaten up, is trying to fix his arm. So we have the puppet arm, and we have it like twitching. He cuts it open with a scalpel. He's fixing the little piston guys. This is also where he cuts out his eye, like it's a chien andalou or something. Like, dude, it's fucking brutal because we're told that they have skin and blood. So they're like, these bits are bloody. Like, it's cool as hell.
Yeah, it's chilling.
And we later find out that they start to rot.
They do rot, yes.
You got a dead cat in there?
And that's what the guy thinks. He's like, well, there's dead flesh. And he has a selection of scenes, of responses, and he selects, fuck you, asshole, which is pretty good. That's pretty good. And Dr. Silverman's like, so who are you fighting? The robots from the future? Yeah, they're going to kill her because she's going to give birth to the rise of the resistance. By the way, if someone tells you any of this shit, you don't believe them. Like, we benefit from watching the rest of the movie. But this dude is insane.
Well, did Cyberdyne Systems exist at this point? Because that might be a clue.
Well, it might, but that would also, I mean, there are also people all the time who claim that, like, Steve Jobs owed them money for child support. Like, crazy people, that's what crazy people, schizophrenics do. They see things around them. Like, I had a neighbor whose mom lost her mind and was convinced that, who was she watching? Peter Jennings was promising that he would give her money through the TV. Like, because that's what dementia is. It sucks. Like, luckily on both sides of my family, I have people who kept their mind until they got old and then passed away. But like that's what it is. And so if you had a guy who had done a lot of I'm sure they called it something like smack back then. I'm sure he has some people coming up with creative stories, and like, and it's funny because even in these scenes we're supposed to be comedic and silly. He's giving us exposition. How do you get back to the future? I can't get back to the future. Dun, dun, dun. Like, meanwhile, Arnold is plucking his eye out of his skull. And I will say at this point, the puppet doesn't look great, but you know what, man? We still have like the Haunted Mansion like camera like mirror trick, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, even when you could tell his face is not his face, there's still something kind of chilling about it because, you are talking about something that's not quite human anyway. So, I mean, if it ends up not looking totally human, well, it's kind of what it is.
Well, and the red laser eye is the fucking polishing piece to all this. Because, like, if Cameron started out with this skeleton robot, this Ray Harryhausen nightmare, it's fine, but it's not as scary as him becoming that monster.
Yeah, because you don't see the skull face army in T1. You only see the hunter killer and the tank. And the beginning of T2, skull face is out the yin yang.
Well, and you see at the very end of the third act here, where the metal skeleton is crawling away. And that is cool, right? Like, because even here, you get the weird eye for half a second on what I assume is a puppet, right? And then he puts on those gargoyle sunglasses and then turns back into being Arnold Schwarzenegger again because we don't see the eye anymore. Like,
right. I did clock. It was about 2.5 seconds where that's not Arnold. Oh, it's Arnold again.
Yeah. Yep. And it's very clear that, but again, I will say, and I'll say this again, and I'll say this again. Filmmakers who don't listen. At least you can scale that up to 4K and it doesn't look like shit. I watched this on my own Blu-ray copy. I don't own the 4K. I almost ordered it before this came out. But because it's real, it looks fun. Like when you upscale and it's all CGI, it just doesn't look like anything anymore. Anyway, Arnold then goes back out into the night. But
I am a friend of Sarah Connor's.
Well, at this point, he's going to go kill her mom at Big Bear. But we cut back to the police station. And at the police station, they're watching the recording of what Reese is saying. And the psychologist is like, I have my next paper right in this guy. Not just a paper, 3 books. And they're watching it, and Sarah Connor's like trying to play it cool. But at the end, he's like, Skynet knew nothing about her mother, John Connor's mother. That's why they sent someone back to kill him, and they're going to kill her. They're going to fucking kill her. And she starts freaking out, and Winfield's like, you got to turn off the tape, man. She's right fucking here. And again, like, they can say she's whatever age she wants. She's mid-20s, but she's losing her goddamn mind. You still don't get it, do you? They're going to kill her. Her body fucking fell out, man. Like, it's so much. And you can't stop him. That's all he does. He terminates, man. He terminates.
Game over, man. Game over.
Game over. Which is another Bill Paxton line from the next movie. By the way, I'll just throw this out because I pulled it for us. This movie came out 1 year after War Games. And this is essentially like, but what if War Games had murder bots? Because the whole thing is like, what if AI launched the nukes? And then Jim Cameron, what I imagine was smoking a huge bowl, was just like, but what if there were kill bots? Like, although I imagine this was just in the water because by 83 actually might be before Reagan brought up Star Wars. But like one way or another, like the idea of computers and stuff. I know by 87, there was an actual nuclear scare because of a computer glitch where our computers thought that the Soviets had launched all their nukes. And because of again, it was Reagan era computers. So there was just a problem. God damn. Yeah, it was like,
how did we survive? How are we still here now?
Oh, no. I mean, there's an alternate universe where many of the alternate universes were all dead. Like the Terminator future or the Matrix future is optimistic. But at this point, we should just mention is the scene you guys were talking about where the psychologist is like, whoo, Ooh, what a Looney Tune. I'm going to go home and order some Domino's pizza pie. And then Arnold passes him coming in and goes, I would like to see Sarah Connor. And he's like, you can't see Sarah Connor. I would like to see Sarah Connor. He goes, I'll put you on the list. And he goes, and then he looks around and goes, I'll be back. It's
great.
That's where I'm there. And by this point, this look, I did, as Alex and Matt said, as grandparents, they were born in 84. And as a spry young 40-something, I'm born in 85. I imagine in 84, 85, 86, that was just a Halloween costume. The spikety hair, the big sunglasses, the leather coat, and the jeans. Because, dude, I'll be back. Like, it had to be. Like, this is the coolest outfit.
That's what the 15-year-old that's still going around in his neighborhood trick-or-treating just throws on for Halloween 1984.
Because the next year, 85, it's the Marty McFly with the vest and the rolled-up sleeves on the denim shirt, right? But, like, at one point, so what Arnold does is he gets back in the car he's stolen, and he just drives through all of it, and the man turns into a crash test dummy, and we're better for it. And I'll just add here, Paul Winfield goes, Sarah, you just go take a nap, because there's like 30 cops here. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, he tucks her in. It's actually nice. The
It's a real scene.
hard-boiled chief tucks her in.
You go like, here, you sleep here. I'm going to go get myself some coffee, and we'll get to the bottom of this. And
I'm going to smoke 12 more cigarettes and drink 18 more cups of coffee.
Dude, I mean...
Because that's what I do in my sleep.
Because, he's just like, oh, the paperwork. And then, goddamn. And then the guy watching Michael Biehn gets knocked out because Bean's like, he knows what this is. These Terminator bots are coming. Anyway,
so I consulted, because of course I did. I consulted AI for this question, one of the large language models, and so it believes that the sort of, and there are probably more instances of this, but the sort of robot vision where you have like an interface, the screen, the audience's POV becomes like a robot interface. The original Westworld movie in 1973, which I still haven't seen. I was big into the TV show before it really kind of fell off a cliff. A movie called Demon Seed. I don't know Demon Seed, but of course I do know
the computer wants to do something besides murder you in that one.
Okay. A computer's point of view. And then Star Wars 77. It says you get some brief like R2D2 POV shots. So the red Terminator POV shot. It wasn't the first in cinematic history, but hadn't been done too many times. And it's that I mean, talk about being an audience in a theater. That would probably be pretty wild, just seeing that coming out of nowhere. I think that'd be cool.
Well, and also, like, as we're seeing it, is essentially doing, how do I even put this? They're like wire drawings. It reminds me of some other early sci-fi we've done, like Blade Runner. But, like, you're seeing these people panicking, like, and what it does is highlight how he is calm, cool, and collected, and they are losing their minds, right? Like, and then that's why it looks so cool, because this sequence here in the police station is, well, I was going to say Tron. It's not Tron. Tron is what you do when you discover that, like, you can just order gummies through the mail. But, like, Arnold, like, he does not emote. He has a very specific, I am going to murder everyone kind of walk, but he makes quick work of all of this. Like in tech noir, people are panicking, and there's one poor woman who just happens to literally walk in the way of his shot, between her and Sarah Connor. Like, she dies falling on top of Sarah Connor, literally accidentally saving her life. But this is the opposite. Tech noir, there's panic. Here, everyone's like drawing their guns. Everyone is like, there's one dude who's drinking a cup of coffee, but most people try to get the shot on Terminator. Terminator opens fire. Terminator don't care. Like, he just shotguns all of these people. And Michael Biehn and Linda Hamilton get away.
Yeah, man, he's just holding like heavy guns with just one arm outstretched and just blowing LAPD through the doors. I feel like this movie was just sort of influential in kind of shaping what we thought like a badass guy should and could be. I mean, it's just...
Well, and you said it right. Like, I know in this there are squibs and there's blanks, right? Which makes it all the better. Because like nowadays we'll watch a Stallone movie and like it's CGI blood and that it never looks right because the actors don't know when to react. But like him walking with the shotgun and there's sparks. Again, it's there is a blank in that but he's acting as though it's that CGI effect because he is not responding. There's no recoil to those guns. There's almost no weight because the man is a brick shithouse. And that's why in the next one, it's fun to choose Robert Patrick, who is half Arnold's size in every way. And now they're hiding under an underpass and Michael Biehn and Linda Hamilton are about to make out. Tell me about what it was like in the future. Well, I haven't washed my balls in 6 months. That's why I volunteered for this mission.
I'm wearing a homeless guy's pants. My balls are probably dirtier than his are.
Yeah.
Damn.
You'd think I have crabs from him. No. They were scared. They were scared of the beam, my friend. Meanwhile, this, I guess, is hers. I don't want to say hardening, perhaps, but maybe it is. But like he was shot in the last sequence, and so she starts like dressing his wound. Mm-hmm. And they were falling in love.
Yeah, it's a pretty good field dressing from a guy who has lived his whole life in the robot wars. That's a compliment. That's a rave from a guy who's lived his whole life in the robot wars.
Well, and I think the line somewhere there is like, so why are you doing this? Why are you trying to protect me? And he goes, I would die for John Connor. And like, it's so funny because part of this is that they're good actors and actresses and yada, yada, yada. Yeah. But like, he has a line like, I have a message for your son. He made me memorize it. Thank you, Sarah, for your courage through the dark years. I can't help you with what you must soon face, except to say the future is not set. You must be stronger than you can imagine you would be. You must survive or I will never exist. Like, it's stupid, but it's the thesis of this movie, right? Like I don't know. Like,
don't think too hard about it.
You're thinking. Here's the problem. You're thinking, but we're going to show you her tits in a second, so you're fine. Like, there's something to this because like there's a million bad sci-fi movies. We've covered them on this podcast, but there is just something to be said about her as this hero who doesn't want to be a hero. She's like the ultimate like Joseph Campbell reluctant hero type. And the real hero is not even trying to convince her. He's trying to protect her and bone her, which is a very important part of it.
To protect and bone, the Kyle Reese mission.
I mean, it used to be on the side of the LAPDs. And she's like, tell me about the future. And he's like, this will put you to sleep. What about if the apocalypse happened? And I think this is when we get that scene where they're entering and the dogs are smelling everyone's hand. And we get him like sitting around looking at her picture and like masturbating or whatever that is.
That's out in the open in their weird bunker with old people eating gruel a few feet away,
and the kids just staring at a TV that's on fire.
Jesus Christ!
That reveal is so funny because it's like a brother and sister like holding each other watching a TV, and then they cut behind them, and it's just
that's a great sequence. That's a great sequence. I really had hoped that they were watching like I Love Lucy videotape that someone had gotten in there somehow. No.
Well, but I mean, that would be the other version of the joke, which is that like they're watching the before times, right? Like it's 1984, so they're instead watching something from the 50s, right? Like I Love Lucy, The Honeymooners, All in the Family. They're watching something like that. Then we have my favorite guy, which is guy with a hammer who catches a rat that they're going to eat.
See, whenever I watch a movie like this, I just don't think. I mean, obviously, these people have the will to live and stick it out. I would not have the will to live through that. No. I would just jump up there on jump up and down on a pile of skulls and just say, just shoot me. Just end it.
Well, it's so funny because some of this, like Blade Runner is a good example. That movie does not affect a single other person other than the people in the movie, right? Like, because there's normal people on the street just eating that ramen in the rain, like that Harrison Ford eats. No, this is just the worst. Like this future is awful. We finally got the jump on the robots, and we were about to win, so they decided to kill John Connor. Dude, I was dead 6 years ago. I didn't get it far.
No, guys. Good luck with the resistance. Carry on the species without me. Thanks. See ya. Dude, bye. Dude.
I mean, and like the sequence literally ends with that guy who I said looks like Lou Ferrigno because he does, but like shoots up the whole place, and we see his Polaroid fantasy of Sarah Connor burn in the fire. And you're just like, I wonder if you describe that. Then that picture I hold of you that I look at every night caught fire. So I volunteered to go to the past to bang you. Like,
I had to see you again.
And then, like, my favorite part of all this is the time travel is not at all explained. Nope. Not even a little bit. We don't explain how the Terminators went back in time. We don't explain how they know that the Terminators went back in time. We like Back to the Future, we get the time travel rules because he invented the DeLorean time machine. Here it's just like, so we stole the technology from the robots, I guess.
I'd have to look at the whole closed loop, fatalistic thing again to see if it makes sense to me. But it's like Sarah Connor says at the very end before she drives off. It'll make you go crazy if you think too much about it. Listen, audience, wasn't about that. Storm's coming. All right. See you in 7 years. But of course, we don't need to jump to the end just yet.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love that music though. It's got this weird meter where it's just like dun 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 dun. Oh, it's great.
No, I mean, again, if you're like facing a deadline or you're about to fight Santa Claus or whatever, you got to have something that's like deep tempo like that. It's awesome.
Industrial. And also, very industrial.
Well, in the second one, they only up it because it's literally just metal clay against metal. At this point, Arnold has fixed his eye. This is where we get the, hey, fuck you, asshole. Smell like a cat died in here. I sound like I'm from Los Angeles. And they decide to rent a room. And Kyle Reese. I mean, and by the way, banging the mother of the resistance, great. He went back in time so he could have beer, pizza, and a hot shower, right? Like, he'll wear a homeless man's pants, but he wants to get a hot shower on that taint.
I tell you what, just like I couldn't have survived and like had the will to live to live out the resistance. If I'd gone back in time, I think my instincts would have been to just totally get off track. I think I would have like gone a few blocks over from Tech Noir and hit the Tech strip club.
In the Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, a TV show that takes place between T2 and T3, where they're sort of running around the country. I think that's how Skynet gets human traitors. Is like, you do this for me, I'll send you back to the world when it was still alive.
Oh. Did you ever watch that show? I watched it a little bit. It was pretty good. No, I mean, but
the asshole psychiatrist is in that. He's gone completely insane and is murdering people he thinks are Terminators.
Wow.
I mean, but John Connor, I mean, you're right. Reese could have also been like, the McRib is back. They have a chicken McNugget now.
Yeah, there's some
30% less rubber.
There's like some shanty kitchen under an overpass in Los Angeles. It's like that has the McRib.
There's And again, it's like Planet of the Apes. There's like just a Bob's Big Boy, like, but it's like the rusted out statue. Like they must have worshipped this big boy. Like, but again, like, we need a volunteer to go back in time. Oh no, I will do it because I'm best friends with John Connor and I totally want to nail his mom. But also, did you know that they had Bam tough acting to acting? Like. So they rent this hotel room that has a kitchen, which is, I guess, the previous owner was just Breaking Bad or something. They were just making meth in the kitchen.
He wants his kitchen for a very specific purpose.
Excuse me. He's going to make a bunch of pipe bombs.
Yeah.
He's going to Eric Robert Rudolph all up in this bitch.
Making plastique or whatever in there.
And he goes, and so he goes, what'd you get for food? He goes, nitroglycerin, mothballs, ammonia nitrate.
Which could be something they would have eaten other than rats, occasionally in the future.
I mean, I don't know, man. If I came from his future and then I went back here, I'm like, Longhorn Steakhouse, please. Like, I need a fat guy dinner. Everyone's talking about girl dinner, and girl dinner is just like, a little bit of wine, a little cheese. No, dude, I need fat guy dinner. I need to just. You have the blooming onion. And I will never make fun of the man because he did nothing but good for people. But Guy Fieri and his donkey sauce, my God in heaven. Like my good boy Reese never left Guy's Rodeo Roundup or whatever. Like
Guy's American Kitchen.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
The greatest food review ever.
I like Guy Fieri because, again, during COVID, he raised money for people. He seems like nothing but a good dude. But at the same time, if you could double French fry them tater tots, girl, like...
Donkey sauce.
And so they have chicken fries at this Burger King establishment. But this is Reese, like... She goes, so is there a Mrs. Hero? And he goes, no, I've never been with a woman. She goes,
he's like not looking at her throughout this whole scene for the most part. He's kind of staring off sort of past her.
Well, and it looks very much like a soap opera, like he's reading cue cards or something, and they're at like 90-degree angles, like it's a Bergman film. It's very funny.
Yeah, she says like, he says like, there was no one ever. And then he like turns his whole torso and like towards the camera, and he's got the hangdog look on his face.
Meanwhile, every time we cut to her hair is bigger.
Yeah. As she gets hornier and hornier, the hair volume increases.
Yeah, apparently a sad backstory does that for Sarah Connor.
I mean, it works. Let's be clear here. Like, it's as though he had two books, like Che Guevara's Book of Urban Warfare and I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. Like, he is catfishing this woman.
Wow, was that a Tucker Max reference? Holy shit, in 2025, a Tucker Max reference? Hell yeah.
It's like 15 years.
God.
I might as well just go, my wife, very nice.
I was doing open house today, and kids were talking about how they all did their summer project, and I'm like, very nice.
They had no idea.
I think some of the parents thought it was funny.
Thank God.
That's where our humor is, boys. Oh, God, Tucker Max. My God. Someone gave me his book, like, as I was just, like, graduating from college.
I had a student. I used to do a product when I had taught world history now 17 years ago, where they had to talk about a historical thing. And someone wanted to compare Tucker Max, I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell, to Dante's.
Jesus. But, oh, God, they should have.
They should have done it. And I was like, no, I can't.
I mean, which layer was actually reading I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell? That thing was...
I mean, to be fair, though, I remember like late elementary, early middle school, we were listening to Adam Sandler records. Yeah. Like, although that was a joke, and Tucker Max is very much a real scumbag.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, after making about a half dozen pipe bombs, she is so horny. She's got to bang this guy.
Damn, she's gonna explode. The pipe bomb.
She tears the homeless man's pants off of him.
Those homeless man pants just come right off.
And
she didn't have to saw them off.
Go, we're free. We're free. Oh, dude.
Oh, man. And,
Dude,
yeah.
And this,
you don't miss Kyle Reese.
This sex scene goes on and on and on and on and on.
They definitely cut to like their hands clenching, and then she's on top, and then like their hands are like intertwined, and then she's on top again. And
well, first of all,
they cut to it like 4 times.
Well, first of all, ladies, I get it. Like, the man has never done it before, so you've got to take control. If he's getting everything wrong, he's just like, no, that's my stomach. No,
he's injured. He's got PTSD.
He's trying to tear the sheets off the bed.
She had to take the lead. That's when you know she's going to be a lead. That's when Kyle Reese was, oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, she's going to lead the resistance.
Yep, lead me.
This woman who's supposed to be 18 or whatever.
I still can't get over that, man.
And he's like 31.
I can't. But the thing is, she didn't. Like, she's just she's living on her own with a roommate, and she's waiting tables, and she's not like in school.
Well,
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that's
I would guess. I mean, first of all, maybe it's just me, but Jim Cameron movies tend to be 2 hours and a half. So I wonder if there's a much longer cut of this where that matters more, right? Because she's clearly living out of the house, but she calls her mom all the time. Like we get that scene where Terminator finds that her mom's at Big Bear, kills her, like does the voice. It's the second movie. Right?
Arnold does an incredible impression there, man. That guy can really change his voice. It's amazing.
The range.
Wow.
But there's also just on top of that, you know, I mean, let's not forget this was 40 years ago. So she could be working herself through college.
That's true. That's true. It's not hinted at. I don't think. Maybe there's something in the apartment. I don't know.
But it's also entirely possible that whoever executive produced this said, nah, you got to cut that down. And so that's why people figured it out, because it became a film that people rewatched and they noticed those things. But no, nothing about her gives anything other than maybe early to mid-20s vibes.
Not saying like out of college, a few years. No, anyway.
Meanwhile, we then cut to, I think it's the same tunnel as Back to the Future and Men in Black or whatever, where they're going through the tunnel and he's throwing the pipe bombs at the Terminator, who's in essentially, they're in Marty McFly's truck with the lights on the top, and the Terminator's on this great motorcycle. And it's a fucking great scene, man. I love these.
Yeah, I got my chase scenes mixed up. I said motorcycle scene at the beginning. Of course, that was the trucker. That was the trucking scene at the beginning when Arnold throws the truckers out of there. But the motorcycle scene is that's fucking badass. I mean,
well, and the thing is too, like, this movie could not take place in any other country because he's just like, I have another gun. So rather than reloading, he just throws a gun down and picks up a new gun that's already loaded. But the best part of this is Reese gets shot, and Hamilton does some kind of fancy-ish driving, but Arnold falls off the cycle, and she then in turn hits the curb. The truck flips. Arnold falls off the motorcycle and then gets nailed by a gasoline truck.
That's right. I'm getting my chase scenes really mixed up. I mean, they're all badass, and I liked all of them, but there's a lot that happens in the chase scenes themselves.
But again, it just tells you the economy of this movie, because, like, Arnold, we see him in the sunglasses at night, where he wears them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he can. Whatever the lyrics are.
But we only get him without it for a second, so you don't realize how stupid it looks. Like, truly. No, I mean that in the best way possible, because he's wearing prosthetics there, and it would look very dumb if it wasn't like, yeah. And then the truck hits him, and there's two people in the truck. Who knows why? But he goes, hey, you better check if that guy's okay. And he gets out and he murders both of them. Oh, well, he doesn't.
He tells the second guy, just says, get out. Very charitable.
And by this point, half of his face is just metal, right? Like, that's cool, man. And this is where we get the vision again. And what does he do? He pulls up the schematic of the transmission, starts the car anyway, and now he has a gas truck. Yeah. And if he was smart enough to figure out the transmission. You think he wouldn't be smart enough to get a gas truck? But Deus Ex Gasina, and he's going to blow the shit out of him. But like, I will say in both of these movies, the first two, trucks are so good. Man, these things fucking kick ass. Because we're about to blow up 3 city blocks and it kicks ass. Because Reese is barely conscious at this point. He's been shot. He's been wounded. The Terminator looks like he's doing a bad Frankenstein impression. They're trying to run down the street, but Kyle Reese's like leg is like shattered and he's screaming. And they still have just a handful of pipe bombs left. The Terminator technically does not care about Michael Biehn because he just needs to kill Sarah Connor. So at this point, he's driving down the fucking sidewalk while Michael Biehn has been left near a dumpster, and he throws one last pipe bomb in the tail. And it's essentially one of the siphon pump things that they use to siphon the gasoline
right
out.
I was like, that's not a tailpipe. What the hell is that? But
we're not doing the full Beverly Hills Cop thing.
Yeah.
Remember when Eddie Murphy killed all those guys? By the way, another great synth score. Dun, 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 dun. We haven't done any of those movies on this show. The third one would be
or The Golden Child, also starring Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I think that's something Keiko wanted.
What's the one where he's like a Dalai Lama type? Is that Soul Man?
Yeah, I think it's Holy Man.
Holy Man. Soul Man's in black. It's a blackface movie with. I don't remember now. Anyway. So the whole thing blows up.
I mean, the scene, just the scene where the fuse continues to get shorter and shorter. Arnold is driving the gas truck closer and closer to Sarah. That was some good suspense there, if I might say so myself.
Well, and
that was some good shit.
So Soul Man is C. Thomas Howell in blackface the whole time. But yes, so at this point, the flesh burns off the Terminator, and this is where we get our Ray Harryhausen shit. And holy cow, some of it looks kind of cheap, but most of it looks pretty damn good. The Terminator comes up as this metal skeleton. Kyle Reese is horribly wounded. And then they come into a murder factory.
This is what I remember. I saw this as a fairly young kid. I don't know whether it was before or after Judgment Day came out, whatever. But I saw it's just a little bit herky-jerky where the stop-motion metal skeleton with the red glowing eyes kind of crawls out. And it's just something about the way it moves. Something in the way it moves affects...
affects you like no other robot.
But it was just it fucking freaked me out. It actually, seeing it now, it's kind of makes my hair stand on end, hair in my neck stand on end, because I remember seeing it as a kid and it freaked me the fuck out.
Well, and here's the thing too. I think it looks better that it's weird and herky-jerky.
Yes, exactly. There's something about it.
Broken toy that's still alive.
Yes. Exactly. And again, they could have done a thing where it was CGI smooth, but even when you so the worst part of it is when you see the whole thing moving. I think it looks the most Ray Harryhausen stop motion, but they keep that weird gait up when it's just the upper body, and that's just a puppeteer going near. But here's the thing: it is freaky. It's not supposed to be human. Make it as unhuman as possible, and there's rear projection shit. As they get to that, they break into I'll call it a Freddy Krueger factory, because it essentially is a furnished room like a Freddy Krueger movie, but all I can think about is Terminators, because this is how the second one ends too.
I think it's supposed to be a Cyberdyne factory, because that's how they got some of the Terminator you see in Terminator 2.
Well, yes. So the second one, a company that becomes Cyberdyne, ends up with a hand, because this thing in this movie, the Terminator is 90% crushed, but one hand reaches out. And that hand is purchased by Cyberdyne. And that's what makes the second movie happen. But here, Reese is literally dying. He's bleeding out. And Sarah keeps having to pick him up off the ground because she realizes she has no game plan. And this guy is kind of, he at least knows what's supposed to be happening. He's read the script.
And this is a scene where we see what Sarah will become. On your feet, soldier, now.
And the Terminator's running through the factory. And around here, like, and it's so funny because I mentioned earlier, we have Reese with his flashbacks, and every time he wakes up, there's some giant machinery. Like there's the garbage truck, there's the shovel lift, and the steam. Like here, the Terminator's like, my guys, I've got my entourage, because he's like looking at these robotic arms, and he's like, he kind of nods. He's so happy. He's like, these are the good guys here. And by the way, I'm making the Arnold voice. Arnold rapped in the explosion. He's really only on screen for like 25, 26 minutes. That tells you how good of a presence he is. He's not in a majority of this movie. And yet, I'm sure leaving the theater, he's all people talked about.
Yep.
That and Linda Hamilton's great tits. But, past that, like, because like this robot thing with the red eyes and the great teeth, it's fucking incredible. They're chasing through this Terminator factory. Reese is like, dude, man, I am going to fucking die. Leave me here. I have one pipe bomb left. He sticks it in the ribs. It blows up. He dies. And like, she's like, oh, good. The movie's over. And then she looks up and there's 4 minutes left. And she's like, wait, what?
And 4 minutes and half a Terminator.
Dude, the fact that it's,
Oh, did I mention her leg is broken?
Yes.
Yeah,
she got like half of her femur sticking out.
Yeah, dude. It's up there with like Dante's Peak. Like this is rough to look at. But I'll just also add, like, she doesn't have a plan anymore. This is where she's in some ways at her best because she is just fucking on her own. She does what she needs to do. I don't know what to tell you. And she sees the Terminator crawling itself along. I don't know what maybe Jim Cameron just had like a bad nightmare one night, thought this up and wrote it out.
Yeah, because this is all him. I don't know who else wrote it with him, but this is all from his.
It's him, it's wife, and there's one other, but like that this is his noodle. But like, man. You want to talk about defining what a Terminator is. Terminator is something that does not give up. And the fact that 90% of it is blown away, its skin is burned off, and it's still trying to fucking kill you, dude, that's what it is. Because there's a scene here, which in any other movie is, obviously in a slasher, you have they come back 3 times.
Right.
Right. And so we have it. We have the car explosion. Mm-hmm. We have it being blown in half. And then we finally have it being crushed. But there's what usually the last girl still has a scene because she's holding Reese and like, oh my God, you tried to save me. And then the hand fucking grabs the post. And once again, my bowels have loosened. And so she is shuffling along and we get this hydraulic press. And again, when do I die in a movie? I don't know if I make it through the fucking press. The idea that this is a giant 10,000 ton press thing, dude, and she is crawling along on a broken fucking leg.
Yeah.
She's already been knocked up by the hero.
I check out a few times, just basically in every single scene. I'm just like, I don't fucking care.
No.
Yeah, so she manages to turn the press on while this thing is trying to strangle her. And crunchy, 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 crunchy.
And you know what's great? As Matt said, it's the crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. It's not instant. It's slow. And that makes it more satisfying to me. Like, now, there are horror movies where the bad guy dies and it's almost uneventful. And that works too sometimes. But this time, after a guy who, like, because literally, she doesn't even know what buttons to hit. Like, she throws down that gate and then is looking for the buttons. The hand is reaching through. It grabs at her fucking neck. And she is trying to hit the buttons away. And it finally kicks in. And it crushes this thing. And I think her last line is, "You're terminated, fucker." Like,
what it was.
It is so good. And then all of a sudden, all of Emperor Palpatine's lightning shoots out of this thing.
Yeah, it turns out it has a nuclear reactor inside it, and the future Messiah is born with 3 eyes.
That's right. And then the EMTs take her away, and Reese is dead, and yada yada yada.
And nobody seems to notice there's something odd in the hydraulic press
until the second one. Yeah, you're right. And then at this point, we cut to the end, which is a great ending because it's this movie never needed a sequel, but for a sequel setup, it's phenomenal. We see her driving around with the headband. She is now visibly pregnant. She's in a Jeep Renegade, and it just says Renegade on the trunk. And in the back seat is a German Shepherd because she knows she needs a dog to tell her when the Terminators show up.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's pretty smart.
Yeah, no, she got the message right away. And she's wearing one of those pregnant lady, like, kind of, I don't even know what to call it other than an art teacher moo-moo. Like, because it's like it's a dress with straps and pockets, and she's narrating audio tapes for her future son. And the dog's like, guys, this is my glamour shot.
And talking about how even though we knew each other for a few hours, they loved each other enough for a lifetime.
Which is
pretty optimistic. You spend most of the time either being shot at or hanging out with or listening to him going crazy.
Bombs.
Well, she realized it couldn't be Matt's son because he's dead. So we need someone who's going to be in the resistance. And we had a few hours together, but that was enough time for a lifetime. Also, those crabs, man, can you imagine? And then this kid shows
the
up.
future crabs, they're a bitch.
Yeah, the future Messiah turns out as a bug.
Yeah, and then this kid shows up and takes the picture that Kyle Reese had. He goes, "You're beautiful, Senora. Would you like this picture for $5?" He goes, "I'll give you $2 for this good hustle kid." And then we get the line, "A storm's coming," and this photoshopped storm is on the horizon. And then we get again a robot drum solo. Dun 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 dun.
Great.
Fucking
Great
incredible.
Stuff. Yeah.
Final thoughts, Matt.
It was fun. Definitely go see it.
In theaters, right?
Maybe if it's if you get a time loop machine and go back to 1984, sure.
Yeah, Alex.
I mean, it's another one of those movies I'd just gone deep into my life, shamefully far in without having seen. And then someone told me what the premise was. This might have been 15, 16, 17 years ago. I don't know. And I was like, oh shit, what a great fucking premise for a movie. It just, like, the premise itself kind of gave me chills. Here we are in the true dawn of the age of AI, and, you know, we're still alive for now.
So far, it's just making art that doesn't have the right number of fingers.
That's right. Yeah, it can't count. If you tell it to recreate the same image just over and over again exactly, it does it 100 times, you get like a horrible monster golem thing. So it's not very good at this stage, but just you wait. But man, it's really great stuff. Like I said, I'm going to have to watch Judgment Day pretty soon.
Yeah, I'll just add, because I get to go last, but this movie is, if you want the fun action movie, see the second one. If you want to see the horror movie, see the first one. It's the same as the Alien franchise, right? Like, I think this movie is truly scary at points. I think it feels very much like Jason Voorhees slasher at points. I also think at the moment, this is my favorite of these movies. You ask me again in a month when I've seen the second one, I might say it's the second one. But both of them are such good flicks. I couldn't tell them apart. I couldn't tell you which one I liked more in that way. But this movie does so much legwork. Like, and again, I know who listens to this show. I know who makes references. I know who likes what we do. And you can feel free to message me or the Facebook group about what it is. But to me, this is the one that feels the most complete. Like Star Wars and Indiana Jones, I'm glad there are sequels, but there never needed to be a sequel. This is a complete movie that tells a complete story. If you are writing things that need the sequel to make sense, you're wrong. And that's why I don't like a lot of the Marvel movies, right? Like, when we do movies on this podcast, a lot of what we do is talk about the expectations and the finale. Too many Marvel movies nowadays we don't do because they're like, well, did you see that thing about Doctor Strange coming? This movie didn't need a sequel. If it ended like it did, you'd be like, holy shit, what an ending. I admire that. I really appreciate the fact that this movie had that understanding. So yeah, I'd recommend it. And if you've not seen this, I mean, the biggest problem I think people are going to have is that they know the sequel too well, right? And for millennials like us, you may have in fact seen the sequel first, which is the problem. So I would say go into this, and when you go into it, just remember there's nothing here that you should like look at. I don't know how else to put it. Like, just pretend there's not a sequel. Go into this blind if you can. Anyway, thanks for joining us for our horror month. This is in fact our Halloween episode. So I hope you enjoyed it. Because, you know, the second one, action movie. Kind of creepy, but it's still action. This one, straight up Jason Voorhees horror. So I count this every day of the week. Thanks everyone for listening. Please share, please support. And frankly, we went longer on this episode as we're recording than the movie itself. So thanks everyone. Bye. Myopia Movies is executive produced by Nick Hoffman and produced by Alex Ewalt, Keiko Childs, Matt Quinn, Nick Hoffman, and Noah Trinette. It is edited and engineered by Noah Trinette. The theme song is Surf Shimmy by Kevin MacLeod from Incompetech.com. Licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. All rights reserved. Thanks for listening.